So they'll be coming in soon. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, just DM me, okay?
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, I welcome you guys to today's lesson on Python. This is a beginner's track. Beginner's track. This guys, don't worry. Please, I want you guys to meet yourself, please. All right. So, in today's lesson, it will be just the basics of Python and introductory class, if I may say. So this a beginner's class. So it's mainly for those that haven't gone into programming before, or those that have been in programming and they are now swapping, like they're now coming over to Python. So so what we'll be talking about, they are just basics, pure basics, nothing much, nothing really complicated, just basics. Okay. All right. So I'm Sarah Abasi by name, and I'll be your trainer throughout this Python beginner struct lessons. So this will be what we'll be talking about today. The contents. So we'll be going over what is Python programming language, what is it used for, and why do we even learn it in the first place. And then after that, we'll have a look on how to install this software on our devices. That is our Windows devices, for those on Windows, Mac devices, Linux, and as well as Android devices as well, Android users. And then we talk about Python ideally and interactive shell. Sorry about that. And we see the difference between both of them. And then for the number 4, we will be writing our first program. Well, it might be a first program for people that have not actually coded before. It will be like their first program. So after that, we talk about getting input with Python, printing, and then variables, and that will be the end of it. So with that out of the way, I'll move straight into business of the day. I hope you guys have seen my screen, right?
Yes, we can see.
All right, okay. So what is Python, and why do we learn it, or why do we need to learn it? In the ordinary world, in the outside world, we say that Python is a snake. Well, here in the tech world, we wouldn't actually say that it's a snake. Say, though it's not a snake. It's Python, as you can see here, is a computer programming language that is often used to build websites and software, automate tasks, and conduct data analysis. It is a general purpose language, meaning that it can be used to create variety of different programs and different special, and it isn't specialized for any specific problems. What that actually means that when they say that something is general purpose, it means that that thing can be used to do other things that it's not actually being created for a specific task. Take for instance a MATLAB. If you guys have heard of MATLAB before, MATLAB is more like, should I say, a special, like should I say, sorry, it's built for like a specific purpose. Like MATLAB mainly, what it does mainly is to carry out scientific tasks. But Python here is not, it's not like that. Understand? It's a language that is general purpose. You can use it for web development, app development, and the rest of them, which we will get into that later in the course. So this versatility, along with its learner friendliness, has made it one of the most used programming language in the world. Notice, probably if you pick up your phone and then you Google top programming languages, I bet you see Python will always be at least top 3 or probably top 5. That's because due to its generality, it is like due to this generality, it is mainly used in this world. So it was created by Gadio van Rossum and it was released in the year 1991. And that should be about 31 years now of existence. So the name itself, how the name Python came about was the owner, like the person who created this language, was actually watching a comedy show. It's called Monty Python. So that was where this young man drew his own inspiration and actually named this programming language Python. According to him, he said that he thought the name Python was appropriately short and slightly mysterious. But that's just like a brief and a definition kind of stuff for Python. So we'll move to okay, what is it actually used for? What do we use Python for? Like I said, it's a general purpose language. We use it. There are other stuffs that can be used, that it can be used for, that are not being listed here. But these are just few of them that it's being used for. So here we have artificial intelligence and machine learning. Then we have data and analysis, data visualization, web development, automation, or scripting, software testing and prototyping, as well as our everyday tasks, such as we can use it to write a simple program that randomly assigns chores to our family members, fill out online forms automatically, etc., etc. So why do we learn Python? Yeah, asking yourself now, okay, if I want to learn this Python, what reason do I need to learn this Python? Well, I could say for a beginner, I would recommend learning Python because of it has a simple syntax. Actually, the language itself was built for its it was built so that users can actually read its own syntax. If you know, when we get to the actual coding, you will understand that it's syntax. Even if you haven't actually coded before, me looking at it at least, you can actually understand, okay, this command here does this command there does that. And two reasons why you actually want to learn Python would be for its versatility, meaning that if you could learn this Python and get good with it, it would venture to any of these fields, web development, data visualization, data analysis, you won't necessarily need like learn new languages each time you want to venture into a career. Uh, with Python, you can play around with any of these careers. And also since it it, it is a general purpose language, it offers us career opportunities, salaries. Meaning that if you are good with Python, like you are really good with it, if you pick up your phone and Google Python jobs, you see that there are lots and lots of people are actually looking for Python developers. People like basic, basic level, intermediate level, advanced level. People are in need of them. So believe me, guys, if you guys stay on this track from the beginning of today's class to the end of today's class, I can bet you that you can actually go out there and get yourself a job, at least a beginner kind of job. That's at the way that's basically an instruction. What we'll be doing now is installing Python on our devices. So I'll be showing you how to do that for the Mac users, the Windows users, Android users, and online users. I will do that in a bit. Okay, so for the Windows users, what you want to do first of all, you would want to head over to Chrome. Chrome. Hope you guys are all seeing my Chrome right now, right?
We can see.
Okay, so this is the Python website. What you want to do, you want to head over to www.python.org/downloads. So when you get there, if you look down here, you see looking for Python with different tests, Python for Windows, Linux, Mac, and others. So I'll be doing for Windows. Then as for the Mac and Linux, actually it's basically the same stuff. Nothing different. The same stuff. Just download the file itself and then click on it and follow the prompts, and then it's installed on your device. So, okay, let me know that okay for Mac OS and I think Linux, just Mac OS, I think Python is installed, comes with the OS. So what you want to do is, first of all, you want to know if Python is really installed on your desktop, like on your Windows, on your device. So I have mine installed already, but I won't mind going over the description again for the sake of this class. So I'll be sharing my command prompt. Please mute yourself, please. I'll be going to my command prompt, and then for Mac users, you should be going to your terminal. Yes, terminal. So what you want to type there is Python. Are you saying? You guys seeing that? Can you see what I'm typing? Let me. You guys seeing that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now you want to find out if Python is already installed on your system. What you want to do is go to your Windows users, go to your command prompt, and then for Mac users or Linux users, go to your terminal. And what you want to type is Python -- version. And if it is installed on your system, you should having this should show up Python with latest version. So currently I'm using Python 3.10.2. But if you have typed that on your command prompt or your terminal and having stuff like such command does not exist or Python does not exist, sorry, then no problem at all. So what you want to do now is go back to Chrome and download this file. For Windows, you click on this download button here and it will just download that for you. Like if you look at my left bottom corner of the screen, you see it downloading. Like I'll cancel this because I already have that download on my PC. Okay. When you download the Python, it should show on your file manager. It should show on your file manager. You see something like this. See something like this icon here, this icon right here. One that my mouse is now. Have you guys seen that icon there? So hello, is anyone hearing me there?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, yeah. So that this icon here. Okay. So what you want to do?
Please, your voice is breaking.
I don't know. I think that's my network. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. So let's. So what you want to do is you want to double click on that icon for the Windows user, and then okay, I have that installed already, so I can't actually run the installation again. So what you see are prompts. So basically, I just normal prompt. Like if you guys have actually installed any software on your device already, then you should know how to do it. It's easy and straightforward. Then what you want to do during this installation, you see a checkbox. You ask to add Python to your parts. What you want to do is check that box and then continue the installation. Then for Mac OS, that's not sure because it will automatically add Python to your command prompt so that you can actually access it from your command prompt. You guys understand what I just said?
Yes.
So that should take about 5 to 10 minutes to install, nothing much. Once that is installed, what you want to do is head over, go back to your command prompt or your terminal, and then when you type this again, Python dash version, then you should when you type Python, when you repeat that command again, Python dash version, then you should see Python and its latest version installed on your Windows or your Mac OS. So that is for the Mac and the Windows as well as the Linux users. Then for Android users, let's assume that probably you're not on a PC right now and you want to have this like a software that you can actually use to execute it. What you want to do is you go to your Play Store on your Play Store on your Android device and then you search for what you'll be searching for. PyDroid. Let me please mute yourself, please. What you'll be searching for is PyDroid. what you should say. Or probably if that's the problem, or probably if that's the problem, then you go to your Chrome again, like you go to your browser, and then you search for search for PyTorch, APK for, and this is Python 3, IDE for Python 3, apps on Google Play. Then you download that and you install. It is pretty easy to install. It is pretty easy to install. So with that out of the way, then for the online users, those that probably don't want to get all this stuff and you just want to write your code online and then you just run it, and you just search for, just go to your browser and okay. Give me a few minutes. Give me a few minutes there. Give me a few minutes. What you want to do is go to your browser and then you search for online Python compiler. Probably the first link, you see like programs.com. You click on it and it will give you this nice development IDE and you use it to execute Python command. I think someone raised your hand. Please unmute yourself and ask.
Sorry,
Sorry, I can't really hear you.
Your name, sorry.
Okay, my name. Okay, I'm Sarah Bassi. Huh?
I want to confirm what the new Python on my system now. So I'm trying to type that command.
You are finding difficulty to install the Python? Like where are you finding this during the instruction process or what?
I want to type the command prompt.
Oh,
I open my command prompt to type the Python version. So I'm thinking I'm not getting the right syntax for that Python version. You know, to know. Yeah.
Are you on Windows?
Yes, I'm on
Windows.
Windows.
Okay, what you want to do? Python on all of them on lowercase. Python, take the time, space, a space bar, and then dash. That should work now. It's that's
Okay.
Okay, I believe that should work. So, okay, so back to, let's continue. So, okay, you can go ahead and answer.
Good evening.
Okay.
One person at a time, please. Mujuba, I'll start with you.
Hello, sorry. Good evening. I want to ask if we have, like, if I, for example, now I have PyCharm like as my IDE.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's okay.
Yeah, that's definitely okay. If you have that, that's definitely okay.
All right, thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma.
Where can we find this command prompt?
Okay, on Windows, right?
Yes.
Okay, what you want to do is click on your Windows key. Let me show my screen. Sorry. What you want to do is for you to click on your Windows, and this stuff come out, the start menu will come out, and then you search for CMD, then and you get that. Okay. I believe that question has been answered, right?
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, to be sure, because from my end the network here isn't really friendly. So I want to confirm, before you go to command prompt, are you downloading the Python, or you go to command prompt before downloading the Python?
Okay, why I went to command prompt was so I can check if I have Python pre-installed already. Then, if not installed, I do the installation. And also then back again to check if it has been installed successfully. I don't maybe get what I'm trying to say. Like what I'm trying to what I meant is that I want to check if I have Python installed, right? So what I want to do is run this command to check if I have Python installed. If I don't have Python installed, I should get an error message here saying that I don't have Python installed. So what you want to do now is head to your browser and then download the software and then install it. Remembering to check the box that says add to your path during the installation for Windows. Then go back there and run the same command again to confirm it has been installed successfully. Understood?
All right, thank you.
Very much. Okay. So that out of the way, want to.
Please, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, please, I have Anaconda downloaded on my laptop, and I normally use the Jupyter Notebook for data science using Python language. Does that mean I can't still use the same for Python for backend? Okay, I ran the stuff, this thing on my CMD, but then it's telling me that Python was not found, run without arguments to install from the Microsoft Store, or disable this shortcut from settings. How do I go about this?
Okay, that's because the Anaconda that you downloaded actually it came with its own Python, so it is actually found in the Anaconda environment. Outside that environment, you cannot find Python. Probably to be on the safe side, I would say download the Python, add it to your path, and go with both.
Okay.
Yeah. Good evening, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, evening. Yeah, I have Python 3.9 version 1 installed on my system. Can I go with that, or I should just uninstall and download?
No, you can go with that.
Okay.
You can go with that. So
okay, so sorry, I have another question, and that is before now I downloaded my command prompt, so I used it for Git. So, but I want to find out, can I still use the same command prompt for this Python?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So all right. Are you guys seeing my screen now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So when we installed Python, it came with something called IDLE. For Windows users, if you click on your Windows key and search for IDLE, so for Windows user, if you click on your Windows key and then search for IDLE, you see something like this. This stuff came with the Python you just installed on your desktop. What this thing means, IDLE is simply an integrated development environment. And like I said, it came with the Python you just installed. What this stuff does, what this thing does is it allows you to type in the program and then execute them. And IDLE is unique to Python, meaning that you can't actually open this application and probably write C++ code or say JavaScript code. It will not run the code. So this IDLE is only built for Python and Python alone. I'll open that IDLE right now. that the other app. A few minutes where it's trying to come up cases. So this is what it's like, nothing like it comes with a bunch of libraries and modules pre-installed, meant for Python and Python alone. So I believe you guys have seen that on your device as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So once we launch this ideally, what we are seeing is an interactive prompt. You can know when you are in Python interactive prompt when you're seeing this. You are seeing this 3 arrows here. As in where my mouse is now. You are seeing that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how you know that you are in Python interactive. So what's the difference between this actual shell and the IDLE itself? Is that this shell here runs one single command at a time. Like it runs just a single Python command at a time, and then it brings out the output for that particular command. That's if that command requires an output. So to our slide, he says here that it's a command line tool that starts up the Python interpreter. Interpreter is a software that executes a command one by one. Take for instance, like okay, let me say like in an occasion, probably an occasion that it's being spoken with a native language. The interpreter will interpret that native language. Please mute yourself, please. You guys should mute yourself. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So now the interpreter, what it does is that it interprets one command at a time, just like interpreter in real life. What it does is, assuming, like I was saying, in an occasion where it is being, let me say, in that occasion, they are using a native language. In that occasion, they will require an interpreter to interpret it to an English language. What the interpreter does is that when a native language is being spoken, the interpreter now interprets it line by line, like one after the other, like line by line. I don't even understand what I mean. Understand? That is exactly what this Python interpreter does. So it is, like I said, it is used to execute a single line of Python command and display results. That's if that command will actually give results. So you can use this command with this prompt, this this interactive. You can use this interactive to actually test your codes. Like if you're having if you're having problem with your code, you can test it here. So just run the code for your line by line, and as the case may be. So, but we won't actually be using this to write our actual, like for a full blown, like a full program. You will actually use this course to write a full program. I think guys to write like 1,000 lines of code, and you actually writing a 1 line of code and then be executing like same time. So what you want to do, when you get okay, sorry. Before I get there, you can actually also launch this shell from your command prompt. That is for those that have Python installed. Once you come to your command prompt, let me share my command prompt. Once you come to your command prompt and then you type in Python, just Python, and then click enter, you see it brings out, and it's that kind of like, seeing that this three arrow here is the same arrow we saw at the IDLE. So it basically does the same thing. They all execute Python code line by line once you type them in. So, okay. So and I don't know if you guys have any questions so far. Question. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a.
Oh, go on. Ask a question.
Okay. This Python interactive shell, is it already when you download your Python? Does it come with it?
You mean when you when you download the Python, it comes with it. It comes with it.
Okay. Okay, please, there's one page you showed. There's one page you showed.
Which page was that?
How did you get there?
Huh? Sorry, pardon?
There's a page you showed.
This page?
No, not this one.
Not this one. This other.
Yeah, the other one.
This page, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Totally the same thing. I was trying to say, like, what I'm trying to mean is that this page here is actually the same thing here. So here you just type in Python and enter, and it will give you exactly the same functionality as this page here.
Okay.
So we'll move forward and okay, so we're actually going to write our first program. As a beginner in programming, literally all the programming language, you always have this you have this particular command as your as beginning of programming. So I want us to probably type in this code into our prompt, our command prompt, or the ID interactive shell, and then click enter and see what happens. Anybody has done that? Let me say that again. Have anybody typed that in? Anybody?
So you mean we should type a print hello world, right?
Yes, just type it exactly the way it is in your command prompt, and then click enter and see what happens.
I typed and it's saying invalid syntax.
Invalid
when
syntax.
I typed this.
Did you include these quotations as you've seen them?
Yeah, it responds back hello world. That's all. That's what I'm getting here.
Oh yes, it brought out hello world with the exclamation mark.
That is right. Okay, people that have actually done that and have actually seen the results. Congratulations to you guys. You guys are officially programmers. Congrats. but you can't actually go out and type that. But you've done that. That's great. That's a stepping stone. That's really great. So I've typed that in mine as well, and I've clicked enter, and I'm having hello world. But you can also do that in your command prompt, no problem. You do the same thing. So don't worry if you don't understand what that thing is. Don't worry. We are going to explain that program in a bit. So that's programming basically. Programming basically what it means is giving the computer instructions and the computer to follow that instruction with a specified syntax. That's just programming. So, well, that's good. Majuba said he has done that. That's good. Okay. So, getting inputs from users in Python. Okay. So, how do you actually get information from users? Let's say if you go to listen, I have a question. Listen, you can go ahead and ask a question.
I don't have a question. I don't have a question.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay, what's the question?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I wanted to ask before you moved on to input, but since you moved on, I just want. But someone asked a question earlier on the same ID shell. If I can't get if I want to like visit a white background, not the one in the command prompt.
Okay, yeah.
The one on the white background. Yeah, how do I get it? I didn't get how to get there. Although I understand how to get to the command prompt, but that's white background.
Okay, it's just on if you're on a window. What you want to do is click on your Windows key and then you search for ID L.
Okay. Okay.
Get it there.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Then. Okay.
Hi, sorry.
All right.
I have. Is it possible for this meeting to be recorded?
Yes, the meeting is being recorded.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So we are with. If you don't understand what the program does, don't no problem. I will explain to you in a bit what that program does. There's no problem with that. So let's just leave that program there and there. So now getting inputs. So how do you actually get input from users? Let's say you go to a website and you see stuff like sign up for this site and you put your mail, your email, your first name, your last name, your phone number, and the rest of them. Now, how do you actually do that in Python? How do you use Python to get information from users? Well, thanks to Python that makes things easy for us. It's simple and it's an input function. You use an input function. This function pumped Python. That when you download Python, this function came alongside with it. And they are hidden code behind this function. That's not our own problem. Our problem is to use that function to carry out whatever task we need to perform. So this is the basic structure of how you do it. First of all, what you want to type in would be a variable name. Don't worry if you don't know what a variable name is. Let's do that in a bit. And then use the input function here, a variable name with equality sign, the input function, and then the message you want to like show out to the user. Let's assume that you go to a website again, let's say website, and then you're seeing boxes everywhere. You won't actually know, okay, what's this box for? What's that box for? And you see that they'll label this box first name, label another box last name. So this message is what we actually let the user know, okay, what they're actually inputting here, this is what you are meant to input at this point. I don't even understand what I mean there. So this is the basic structure. Variable name, equality sign, input function, and then a message to let the user know, okay, this is what I'm inputting here. That's basically what you have to know. So now, for this structure here, actually what it does is that it gets numeric like text from users. It doesn't actually get digit numbers from users. Let's assume that, okay, let's say, for instance, a calculator. Now, like you want to calculate, let's say you want to calculate, the sorry, give me a few minutes. Let me get something for you. Let's say you want to calculate what should I use as an instance here? The height. We're going to calculate one's height. So or probably like you want to get height in meters and then convert it to centimeters. So probably to do that, to actually get digits, not text, you have to do extra work. What you have to do is just easy. The same structure, just add this eval function. Like I said, there are codes behind all these functions, but it's not our problem. Our problem is to use that function. So what this function here does is that it will actually convert like what it will actually prompt the user. It will let user to enter in text here. So what this one does now with that, it gets numbers from users. So you have to take that into consideration. So for text, it's just this variable name, equality signs, input function, and then a message to the user. Then for numbers, variable name, eval function, bracket open, input function, bracket open again, message to user. This other two brackets is this first one closes the first bracket, the last one closes the last bracket. That is just that to get input from users. Then when you get this input from user, how do you actually tell the users, okay, I've gotten this input from you, let me actually display them for you? Like, how do you send back, how do you display messages to the user? That's when Python printing function comes in, the printing function. So this function is kind of like the opposite of the other function. The other function takes input from user. This other function doesn't take input. It actually displays things to the users. That's what this function does. Okay, Tosin, you raised your hand. You have a question?
Tosin, yes, sir. I'm so sorry. I just came in. I'm sure I'm 1 hour late. I've been online since 7 p.m. when this class ought to start. But sorry for, maybe I'm taking everybody back a little bit. I thought that the link would be posted at the announcement. Out of curiosity, I was just checking through every of the channels, and I found that the link was pasted on the Python class. The question I want to ask is, are we going to have access to these notes, or is it the proper thing to just start jotting?
Yeah, I would advise you to just start jotting.
Okay.
But I think this video is being recorded, so probably you will still get.
We'll get this right. I didn't hear you well.
The video is being recorded. You'll get the video. But I want to say to jot down as well.
To be honest,
so I'll start writing from print. Okay, thanks so much, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay, no problem. But don't worry, I will revise the class again from the beginning. So probably just get along, then we'll go back again and we come back again. Okay?
Okay, all right, thanks.
So for the printing, like I said, it's the opposite of the other function. The it's the opposite of the input function. So what this one does is, someone is raising his hand. Anybody has questions?
Please, I have a question.
Okay.
In the getting input.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, let me go
please,
back
can you go back there?
All right.
Okay. So this getting input, you said the input function is simply a way for your program to get information from people using your program.
Yes.
So are you the one writing this, or?
Yes, you'll be the one to actually write this command for your own program to execute it. You're the one that's going to write the command. Don't worry. We'll get into the particular aspect of it. What I want you to just notice how the structure is being arranged. And just note how the structure is being arranged. So when we get to the particular aspect, you really understand, like you really grab what I'm trying to say. Okay.
All right, thank you.
So the printing function, like I said, is the opposite of the other function. It's used to output or display things to screen. That's for the user to see. And this is basic structure. Print function with parentheses and then arguments. So what are actually arguments? Arguments are, what are you displaying? What are you sending back to the user. That's basically what that argument means. What you'll be sending back to the user. That's the argument. So let's say if you notice the program we wrote, we say print hello world. The hello world that's in quotation mark, sorry, is the argument. I don't even understand. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So now there are a couple of instructions with this print function. This print function requires parentheses. If you take out one of these parentheses, your program might actually break or drop an error. So this print function must always put your argument inside its parentheses. Then also let's assume that you have several things you want to print, like want to send out to the users. It will really make sense to just keep saying print argument 1, print argument 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth. So what we can do is that we can actually put them, all of them, like in one line and separate them by comma. Each of these arguments, you separate them by comma. You understand that part? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Question?
Yes. I can see, is there a space between
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Between arguments 1 and argument 2?
Yes.
Does it matter?
No, that space there doesn't matter. You can actually close that space. It doesn't matter. But to make your work nice and neat so that you can actually tear up your code and read it. And you have to put it. You notice here, we talk about variable name. Okay, so now we're going to talk about variable on it as a whole before we move to the practical aspect of it. All right, so what's variables? Well, all these things are just like what it means. It's a computer memory location which are used to store values in a computer program. Basically what it does is it is used to store information to be referenced and used by a program. And also these values can change depending on conditions or information that you passed in your own program. This like whatever this value holds can change. It's not constant. It can change. Okay, so let's say for instance, let's say that my name is Savior Percy, and I want to save my name some way that some other person can reference that, like can reference me and then use me probably in his own program. So I could say, okay, I want to save your Percy in a memory location called XYZ. Okay. What that means is that when I call XYZ, I expect to see save your Percy. That is what it means. See it as a container of things, like container that holds things. Now let's say for instance a pack of sugar. What it does is that it holds. Once you say a pack of sugar, what you should expect to see inside there should be sugar. Okay. So now when I say save your Percy should be stored in equation XYZ, means once I see XYZ, what I should expect from that location should be save your Percy. I don't even understand what I'm trying to say, right? Is there any question on that?
Sorry.
You understand?
When is it said that?
Huh? Sorry, excuse me.
When is it said that?
No, I don't get it.
Sorry, I'm not hearing you. One person at a time.
Okay, I said when it is said that the values can be changed depending on the condition, on the information passed to the program. Okay, is the same thing you still mean that I can change the content of XYZ from Savior to something else I want?
Exactly. That's what it means.
The XYZ remain the name of the container.
Variable, name of the container, the variable name.
Okay.
So I want to start writing few codes, we learn a few basic codes. the print and the input function. Probably you understand what I'm trying to say. So now, but there are certain rules that governs this variable names. You don't just name, like, you don't just call these names, like, you don't just give these names any kind of, like, so you don't just give this container any kind of name. Say, for instance, you want to name a container Prince. You can't name that container Prince. You know why? Do anybody know why? Why you can't actually give your own container Prince, or probably?
Because it's part of the inbuilt Python syntax.
Exactly. That's just it. You can't give your variable names an inbuilt function. Python will tell you that name is my name, not your name, my name. So probably drop an error for you. So, but there are other rules also. We have that variable names can contain letters, numbers, and underscore. Okay, it cannot contain space. Like, you cannot call your own container like savior dash basic, or probably want like a container that holds space name. Understand? You cannot call that container face then space name. Python will throw an error for you. Okay, and then a variable name cannot start with a number. Let's assume you want to store something else, like, let me say a chalk. Probably need a name to store this chalk. You can't start that name with 9 chalk container, 0 chalk container, 3 chalk. Like, you can't start it with number. And also case matter, like casing, like when naming your variable. If you start assuming, let's look at this instance, temp and temp. Python sees these things differently. This actually is another variable, and this is another variable. That those two things are two different variables, but actually the same spelling. Just the first one starts with a small letter T, and the other one starts with capital T. So casing matters when naming your variable in Python. Okay, so I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say here, right?
Yeah.
I understand.
That's good. So we'll let's do a little bit of coding, just basic coding, and then try to see how we can understand this theoretical stuff. Because programmer, in fact, 99% of the time will be mostly and less theory. So let's do the actual deal and deal. So we head back to our Python IDL. So probably I want to know that you guys have jotted down those things. So let's start with variables. So let's say example of variables. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't ask you. Okay. To create a variable, this is its basic structure. Give it a variable name. So we already know that a variable name can start with number, and a variable name can contain space. So let's assume you have a variable name of ant. Any name you wish to. Okay. Now its basic structure is that give it a variable name, space, and equality sign, space. Then what do you want to store in that variable name ant? Say I want to store something like, okay, I want to store like egg in the variable name ant. Okay. And then I click enter. What do you tell you? Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay, so I'll write that again. It means say ant equals egg. Okay. So now why we are getting that error there is because Python has this thing called strings. Strings are everything in. Don't worry, in future lessons we deal more with strings and we understand what you can actually use strings for and all this. But now just know that strings are anything in quotes. Anything in quotes, that's string. And anything that's not in quotes, Python sees it as a variable. Anything outside the quotes, Python sees it as variable. That's why if you read that error here, zoom this. And I don't think I can zoom. Okay. So anything that they're not in quotes, Python sees it as variable. That's why I had this error here. Name egg not defined. Now, so what you want to do is want to add quotations around that egg, and then we click enter. So, like I said, in interactive prompts, it runs one code at a time, one command at a time. So, and depending on the command, it might bring out output. It might not bring out any output. So, like this command that we just wrote, that I just wrote here, doesn't have any output. That's why there's no output there. But I've passed a function, like a command now to Python, telling Python that I want you to save the word egg in a variable name ant. So that anywhere along in this program, I request for that ant, I expect you to give me back. That's what that function, what that command does there. So if I come here and type ants and click enter, return egg. You understand that?
Nothing.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. We do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. So let's try creating another variable. This time around, let's try creating a variable with number, like starting with.
Oh, sorry. Can I ask? Is it every point in time? Is it double quote the same thing as a single quote when you're writing?
Yeah, that double. When we get, for now, use double. It's the same thing, but for now, you stick with that double quotes. When we get a string, I will tell you where we have to stick with that double quotes. Okay. But for now, stick with double quotes. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay. Let's create a new variable. This time, I want to create a variable for A, and I want to save my name in that variable. And this variable, I want to start with a number. Let's see what Python will do when we start with a number. So I start with number 9, and then I call the variable A, okay, with equality sign, and then I want to save my name in that variable. Save your passing. Okay. Then I click enter. See, get an error. Says syntax error. Understand? If you can remember, I said that we to pass a command to Python, we have to write it in the language that Python we understand. Write it in its own syntax. So according to Python syntax, it says that you must not start a variable with a number. So that's why we cannot. So now if I do 9A to actually request for that variable content, we'll get something like the same error again. Okay. So now let's try the other one that says no space. So let's say I want to get I want a variable that says just my first name, that's Savior. So come here and do a new variable first name with space. Okay. I want to save Savior in that variable. Okay. And then you click enter. Get the same error again, syntax error. Okay. So that means variables. Those are the three major rules. Don't use an inbuilt function. Don't start your variable with numbers, and don't have spacing in between your variables. So if assuming I'm already getting this first name, what I would probably do like f name, f underscore name. If you remember, Python said that your variable name can contain underscores. So what I'm going to do, probably a first name, let's say first underscore name. Okay. Okay, at least now it's readable. Like someone can pick up a pen and say, okay, this one gets a first name. But to Python sees it as one word. So now, if you want to space your variable, what you can do is to use underscore to space your variables. Okay. So now I can now save my name, that variable there. Okay. And then I can now click enter. That command has been passed to Python. Bear in mind that the other variable ant still exists in this program until this program is probably deleted or I don't know, got lost or understand, but that or probably not saved. As far as for now, that all those two variables are still there. Like Python is aware of them. So now, if I want to get back my first name, so and I say first name, first underscore name. Okay, let me do that. When I run this code, you get an error. So I want someone to tell me what the error there is. Can someone figure out what is wrong with that code?
Yes, I think the error is because you use the small n in the second.
There's no variable. We're not inserting any item into it.
Can we just raise
So
our
it's
hands?
different. Sorry, the names are different because the last name, the name has a small letter, while the other name starts with a capital letter. So it's a totally different variable.
Yes, that's correct. That was saying that Python is case sensitive. So whatever you name your variable, please call it back exactly the same way to Python service. So I'll just run that code this time around with the right way I saved my name. Oh, sorry. Okay. And then
yeah, the first time you didn't spell the first correctly. You had an S before R.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Sorry. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. And please just check this. Always try to confirm your spelling when. So we just call it exactly the same way. So I just copy that and then I'll just paste that right here and then and then I get my name back. Okay. So you guys are beginning to understand with it. So that's good.
Please, I have a question.
Okay, what's the question now?
Okay, one of the things you've said also is that all variables need to be in parentheses, but you've not used any of the
parentheses. No, I didn't say that all variables need to be. I said that all print, like whatever that print function requires its parentheses. So that statement works with print function. You're about to get into that. Okay, let me share that slide again. Let me share that slide again. This is the slide I said. Print function. The print function requires parentheses around its argument, not the variable itself. Okay? Can I answer the question?
Yeah.
So another question. Okay. What's the question?
Okay. The other variable program we're running, like this running, we made an innocent mistake there where you spelled the first name. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you've already saved Savior in this variable, which was a wrong spelling. Assuming you realize that, is it possible to delete this one variable so that you can create a new one, the proper one with the proper name? And
yes.
Okay, so how do you do that? Do you just backspace?
No, okay, because currently we are in the prompt. Like I said, prompt executes one command at a time. So we can't actually go back to edit it. If it was a full file, you can just go back and edit it, and that's all. Okay. But don't worry, I'll show you how, I'll show you how you can write that code in an actual Python file. Here we're just playing around here. Okay, so before I go into that print function, okay, like I said earlier, that these values can be changed. Okay,
Our phone is not full.
Question? Question? I'll assume no. Okay, so like I said earlier, that the values of these variables can be changed depending on the condition that is being passed to the program. So let's go back to our very first variable that we had ants as a variable that saved egg in that variable, right? So now I don't want ants to save egg. But along my code, and I felt that I don't want ants to. Easy to change. What I have to do is just rewrite that variable again and then assign it. Equality means assigning in programming. When something is said like a variable equals something, means you're assigning. Okay, so now I want to assign a new variable to ants. Okay, so now I don't want ants to save egg. I want ants to save human. So now when I do ants human and execute this form, okay. If I run ant now, okay, I don't expect to see egg. I expect to see human because I've now changed the value of that variable from egg to human. So I'll just go ahead and click enter here, and then I get human. Understood? Okay.
So do ant to egg and let's see what do another ant and let's see whether egg will come out.
Okay, like I should go back, like I should reassign egg again to ant, right?
No. As ant has come out now, as human has come out now, it means that it has replaced egg. That's what you are saying.
Yeah, it has replaced egg. So egg is now lost in the program. Like it is perfectly lost from this line up from here.
Okay,
that I assign it is gone, and that value is gone. It's lost in space. Okay.
Hello,
okay.
Can I ask a question?
Okay. But
yeah,
can you also
okay? Can I also do what?
Sorry. Can you also say, okay, I don't want ants to I don't want to assign egg to ants. I want to assign something else to egg so that ant doesn't come out.
The ant doesn't. Ant is actually a variable, not the value itself. So probably what you're trying to say is if you can use egg as a variable,
it's a variable. Right? So
yeah, you can use egg as a variable. So if you do like egg equals, okay, please, what do you wish to assign to egg?
No. What I'm saying is, we said ant is equal to egg, but the actual thing we want to eliminate is the ant, not the egg.
Okay, I understand.
Can we eliminate the ant?
Yes, you can eliminate the ant if the ants. If along this program we don't want to use ant now acts like a variable. So now, okay, let's say I don't want ants to hold egg. I want something like some other things to hold egg, right? Like okay, let's say like I want letter A to hold egg, not ant, right?
Yes.
So now, currently now ant is holding human. Okay, ant is holding human, all right? So now if I now assign that human to A now, let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens, right? So now automatically at that point, ant no longer holds human. So if I say ant now, if I say okay, I bring up ant. Oh, sorry, let me take that back. Sorry, let's take that back. Let's take that back. Okay.
The first one was not executed.
No. What happened there was what
was not executed.
It was executed. What you should know is that what you should know that one variable, multiple variables can be assigned to one value. Okay. Like now, let's assume that I want B again.
Okay.
To hold the same human. To hold the same human. If I run B, give me human. If I run A, it's give me human. If I run ant as well, give me human. Okay. But if I say, okay, let me say let me say I want to swap this topic, that particular topic, like lessons, to swap these variables. Okay, let's say that. Okay, all right, fine. Let's make a new variable. Let's say temporary variable, temp. Let me show you something. Temp1 equals to boy. Okay, right? And let me say, sorry about that. I told you that anything outside strings is seen as variable. About that, sorry. So I write that temp1 equals boy. Okay, are you seeing that? Let me try to grab this. And I don't know what I can share down. And let's say temp2 equals to girl. Okay, but I want to show you how values can actually be lost. Like a variables can actually be lost, like can go. Okay, so now and I say temp1 equals temp2. You know what I mean? You understand that line that just with the temp1 equals temp2
become girl. Yeah, by the time you call temp1, it gives you girl.
Yeah, by the time you call temp1, it gives you girl. And so now it means temp1 and temp2 is currently pointing to one value. So at this point in time, boy value is lost in space. So now let's say that you want to get a variable. Understand? Once a variable has been initiated in Python, it is there. Like Python automatically saves that memory. It remains there for that variable, except you actually highlight this variable like in a Python file, and then you actually delete it off. Then that variable is gone, totally gone. That's how you can delete a variable in Python. I don't know if I've answered your question. So the person that asked how can a variable be deleted? Easy. Highlight the entire variable and delete it off, and it's gone. We can do that here in prompts, okay? But you can do that in the actual file itself. I'll show you in a. Okay.
Okay. Yes. So I wanted to ask a question. I raised my hand.
Oh, sorry. I answered that. So what's the question?
Yeah. So I hope the previous person is now clear, so that I don't just steal the baiting from him. So I want to ask, is it possible to now you have your ant and you've assigned a string or human as it is? Is it possible to assign number?
Yes.
To replace the human and then use the number in calculations?
Yeah, it is very possible to assign number as well. Okay, so let's assign number. Let's assign a number. Okay, so let's assume I create a new variable called age. Okay, so I want to assign age to that variable. Okay, like I said, in Python, anything in strings is known as text. So if I do something like this, 23, or let me say 30, or let me say 30. Let's just and 30, and then that's safe. Understand? For us, that's an age. If you do age, okay, see what it does. It's bring out that 30, but in quotes, meaning in strings. So we can't actually do like a mathematical stuff age like that, because currently now Python says that age has has text of 30. So now to assign numbers, you don't actually need to add those strings. Understand? So what you will do is age equals 30, and that's it. So when you do age, see this 30 and that 30, now you've seen the difference, right? This 30 doesn't have string. So now that's the one that Python will see as number, and the other one, Python will see it as strings. And when you want to do like a mathematical stuff with it, it will concatenate. It's something in string. You don't when we get to string, you will see it. It's concatenate. It doesn't actually add. Okay, but this one will actually do the actual adding. So let's
okay, thanks.
Print
So
function. Okay,
it's very clear now. So
very clear. Okay,
variable is like a container. You can put anything in it.
Yes, you can put anything in it. Or number, anything. You can put anything. So now let's see how the print function actually works. So like we said, the basic structure of a print function in Python, sorry about that. In Python is print. Now if you notice the color of that thing has changed. Once you type in a keyword, like a reserved word, Python command, it changes the color. Okay. You notice, let me cut it again and type that print again. It's black color, then one add the T, change color. Automatically, Python I've noticed that to be a function, a command. So what Python is expecting now to see is parenthesis close. You can run this on some. Once Python sees this, like you can actually run a print function without any arguments. What Python will do will be it will print a new line, a fresh new line, like that was that function will do. Okay, if I run this function, see it sees space in between. That it related that function as new line. If this, if you've seen here, have you guys seen my mouse? You see that space, these stuff are together. But the moment I run this empty print, it gives me space here. Okay. So what that function does is that it creates a new line, like it executes a new line. Okay. So now we are going to actually run this function with an argument. With so when I say print, yeah, like the one we run in our first code was hello world. Okay. With okay, then so it's actually it gives back what's being given there. Okay, I don't even understand what I mean. Like it just sends back to the screen. Okay, and apart from you printing strings, you can also print variables. Okay, you can print variables. Let's say I want to print age. Like I want the user to see this age, my age, because currently now this age cannot be seen by external users except you that is writing the code. Okay, so I want external users to see this age on that. So I can say print, and it will print it. Okay, so you can print anything, like anything. Okay, like anything you wish that you wishes the user to see, and you can use the print function, send it out. Okay. So another thing that let's assume that I wanted to print human. Okay, I want to print variable a, b, and 10. Okay. Carry this entire variable, all the variables, and print them with just one command. So what I'll do is print and then separate each of those arguments with a comma. Okay, and what we should see here should be human, because A is human and B is human. The first human is for the first variable. And okay, I've seen a lot of hands. Okay, what's the question? I'll start with Tosin. I can see your hand raised.
Sorry, it's not a question. Please, could you take your screen up, as in shift it up?
So yeah, and honestly, I'm let me see that I can take that. Let me see if I can. Oops. Not doing it. What can do? Okay, let me just. I want to put this. Let's. Okay. All right. Better now, huh? Okay. I saw another hand.
It is better.
Adeyemi. I don't know if I'm correctly. Sorry for that. What's the question? Adeyemi. I'm seeing your hand raised. What's your question?
Sorry, I raised it earlier. You've answered my question. Then let me lower it. It's not a new hand raise.
Just to say good. What's the question?
All right. What I want to ask is, what if we want to print, maybe my name is, then we put the variable 30 at that age. Okay. Well, my age is 30 years old, and we want that the value in that variable to be inside.
Okay. So we'll do that. We'll do that. I will see. I'll do that just now. Okay. So I don't think. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. What I will do? Okay. Let's actually write this code in real file. Okay, so that I can shift this thing up.
Hello.
Because currently, yeah.
Hello. Sorry.
I have a question.
Hello,
Yes. Yes. What's the question?
Hello.
Yes, I'm listening.
Can I make a suggestion, please? For those that are saying that the slide is down, what I normally do, you can actually use your screen to zoom it, navigate. You can use your own screen, your personal screen. If you are using laptop, or if you are using a phone, you can use your screen to zoom it and navigate through the background yourself.
Okay.
So just keep on doing what you're doing. People can use their screen to navigate towards the interface, because the thing is like, I think this IDE is like a command prompt, so you can move,
Yes, like
move up.
you can move up.
Just use your screen to navigate what you want to navigate. Other please, let's help ourselves.
Okay. I'll just let's create an actual Python file. Okay, that would be better. Let's create an actual Python file. Okay, but one thing you guys to see how this prompt works. It just runs one code at a time. But when you create an actual Python file, you can write multiple lines of code and run them at once. So to create a new Python file, if you take your top left corner of your Python IDE, you see where you see file, and then you can make a new file. You can create this file anywhere on your desktop. And when you create a new file, you see stuff like all right, let me show you. So now you want to save this file. You want to save this file. You can save the file anywhere in your desktop. So I'll just save it. I'll save mine in my desktop. Okay. I'll save mine in desktop. I'll call this exercise 1, since this is actually the first time we're writing any. Now for a Python file, okay, its extension is .py. But it will just do that for you by default. Okay. When you save your file with the file, it will go back to that file on your at wherever you saved it. You see this one. You see it has this Python logo there. That's when you know that file is actually a Python file. So seeing this a fresh file and all our named variables are gone. All our name all our name variables are gone. Okay, so now we have to create new variables. We create ants again. We just create ants again, okay? And let's save human as usual, okay? And let's create another variable called first name. I guess I'll spell that correctly this time around. That should be correct. First name, okay? And I want to save Savior in that name, okay? And let's say so is another one, last name, sorry. Last name. I say Basil, okay? Okay, so that's our new variables that we just created, okay? Are you guys seeing that? Huh? You guys seeing that?
Yes, we are seeing it.
Okay, that's good. So
yes, we can.
Okay, so currently, unlike the command prompt that actually executes this function, this command line by line, and at this point, this command are not yet executed. Okay, it's not yet executed. It's just there. It's just like a main code, hasn't yet executed yet. Okay, so until you click on this here, I'm saying in that place that is run. Okay, when you click on that run, that's when Python will actually start to execute this function line by line. So someone asked if you can actually print something like I am this, my name is my name is this, I am that years old. Okay, so we are going to actually try that now, and then we see how we can print multiple arguments, and then we can actually use them to form a sentence. Okay, so I'll just add one more variable here, h, and I just say it's just that 30 as we did before. Okay, so now I want to print to the user that I am Savior Basi and I am 30 years old. Okay, so what I can do is print function as usual. Okay, and this print function requires this parenthesis. Okay, then inside this parenthesis, I want to give this function multiple arguments. Okay, now I want to print first name. That's first name, and then that's Savior. Then I want to print Bas. That's Savior Bas. Okay, so last name. Okay, then I want to say that I am 30 years old. Okay, what I can do now is can I bring in strings now? Because anything that's outside strings in Python still has a variable. Now, since I am is not a variable, so it's actually a string. So I'll use my double quotation there and I say first name, last name. That is Savior Basi. I am okay. I'll cover my strings, okay? And that's and then H. And then another string that since not a variable, yes. So without executing this function, what do you think? What do you think will happen there once I run this program?
Save your bus 30 years.
Okay, so let's actually see if that is what we will have when we run this. So question.
No, I want to answer. It will print out Savior, then the last name, then I am, then the age will be printed out with years old in a sentence.
And let's see printing that first name and last name is going to merge it together because there is no string space between first name and last name. So it's going to like merge that first name and last name together, like typed together without no space between it. So let's be put. I don't know. We can put string.
All right. Let's see how that works out. Okay. So when you click on run, you see this other one that is run module, and you now press, now click enter. Okay. Save as a file and then run. If we look at the playing run that again, sorry. That's at the other. Okay, see, I saved passing. I am 30 years. Okay, so someone said that there won't be space. Okay, there won't be space here. Yes, by default, there shouldn't be space there. I think Python actually does that. But if we had run this program and say your basi was joined. Okay, if we run this program and then say your basi was joined, okay, what do you think we would have done? Any ideas? Like, let's assume we run program and we have something like this. Save your person. I am 30 years old. Okay. So let's assume that we run this program and have something like this. What would I have done to separate this argument? Because savior is first name argument and basi is last name argument. Any idea of what we have done there to actually separate that name?
Okay, for me, I'm not sure, but I think we could just add a plus in between the first name and the last name.
Okay, nice suggestion.
I think we can actually in between the first and last name we can put hyphen and a space, like inside those inverted commas, like the quotation mark. We can just put a space in between the first and last name.
Okay, I think that we could just, after the savior, after the first name, we could just put a space in between the quotation marks. So we just put a comma, then we now put quotation and space.
Okay. Nice suggestions. And the guy that said, the person that said that we have used plus, and it's not actually work, because the way Python has its own syntax. Plus, I think plus works for JavaScript. Plus works for JavaScript. But with Python, what we have actually done there, someone said it, okay, is we have just added a quotation, and then, okay, that's what we have done there. And that's what I've separated those names. Okay. So let's save this and run it again and see what happens. It won't really do anything. Not doing anything. It will display the same thing back again. This one with more space. Okay. If not, there's actually more space here. Okay. That's because of the additional space we added here. Right. So okay, so okay, that's basically how print works. Okay, it's just send back stuff. Just send back whatever you wish to display.
I can't
Please mix 1%. Okay, the output. Oh, sorry. The output was right here. Have you seen it now? With that space, we added added two more spaces there for us. That's because of the space that's because this space here is because of this space that we added here. So if you notice, there are like that's one space, that another space there. Okay, that's this space here. Okay. Someone is raising his hand. Omoto was a Omoto. Okay. Say good. Your hand is raised. What's the question? Say good. Your hand is raised. What's your question? Okay. So if you notice, we are almost out of.
Okay. Where did you get this out from? Where did it come from? The output.
Okay, where output came from? Okay. Okay. Let me close that again. If you run this
box here, how did you?
Okay. Yeah. I'll answer that. Okay. If you click on that run, okay, you see run model. When you click on that run model, it will bring up that box. Okay. That's how you get that box. Then you can actually minimize the box or probably close it. So we are running out of time. So let me just show you how the input function works. And so now, if you could remember if you remember how the input function works, that it requires a variable name and then an equality sign, input function, and then message to display to the user. Okay. So now first thing here is the variable name. So now what we actually did here, like what all this stuff we did here was actually we were actually assigning these variables to a first, like these values to these variables by ourselves. Okay, let's assume that we don't want to assign these variables by ourselves. We want the users to actually give these variables what value they wish to. Okay, now that's when we now use the input function. So what we can do there is get say first name. Okay, first name. Okay, that's the variable name, equal sign, and then input. Okay, and then remember this input as well comes with its own parentheses. Okay, and then what do we want to show the user? Okay, because if we just run this code, okay, what this thing will just let's run this code and see. Okay, let's run this code and see. Let's run it. What are you seeing? There's a cursor here that's blinking. It's actually requiring something from us, but we don't know what is that. Okay, so let's assume you are going to someone's side. I am seeing box. Yet you don't know what you want to put in the box. Okay, you look confused. So now what you want now, you want something to show there, okay, so that the user can actually know, okay, this is what we want you to put in that place. Okay, so now that's where we now come back here and now we now put our string. That's what you want the user to put, like to see when they see that input point. Okay, now you can say like, okay, like enter your first name. First name to be precise. The name there. Okay. Okay, then we save this. Okay, and then user, once you run this code, let's run that code and see it now shows the what enter your first name. So then now we can now know, okay, oh, the program wants us to enter our first name. Okay, then I can now say Savior as first name, enter. Okay, automatically that Python have captured that input and saved it in this variable. Sorry, give me 2 minutes. In this variable, Python have captured that this savior and saved this for me in this variable. So assuming I have an empty stuff, like empty, I just empty that place. Okay, nothing is there, just an empty string. Okay, I don't have to save anything there. Okay, so now once Python captures the value from the user, I want Python to save it to this name. That's what this line of code means. Okay, means whatever the user enters here, carry that value and save it in a variable called first name. Okay, understood?
Yes.
Okay, so now if you notice when we ran that code, okay, let me find it. When we executed that code, there was something. Okay, notice that cursor is close to the name. Okay, like it doesn't really make sense. Okay? It's really close to the name. It does not understand. So you want to make that place, like, want to space a little bit, okay, so that to look good. So what we can do is we now come here now. Because this is string. String means whatever you like, however you typed it, that exactly is how it will appear on the screen. So okay, so I'll just give few space there, okay? Probably okay, a colon and then few space, okay, and save that, and then you run this code again, and you see the difference now. Now you see there's a space now. You can actually type and it looks good, okay? And then we click enter. Once you click enter, Python has captured that value and saved it for us, okay? Now, how do we know that Python has captured this value and saved it for us? So now currently, like I said, Python is an interpreter. It runs this code line by line. So it starts from the ants and run it to here, and it does that in a couple of seconds. Okay. So now, currently, when Python comes here to this line, that line too, it sees that first name is that there's nothing there. Okay. So if I print first name, let me print first name. Okay. Let's understand something. Okay. Let me print first name. Okay. First name. Let's see what happens. Okay, and we save that and run that code. Let me just cut this one out for now. Okay, let me run. Okay, what is there? There is no first name here. Okay, but okay, but here we said print first name space last name. I am whatever age is yes. Okay, but when it's executed, there's no first name. That's because here first name is gone. Okay, there's nothing there. So now, how do we actually know that Python has saved this stuff for us? Okay, so now what we can now do that when after this, okay, after this, let us run this code again and see what happens. Okay, now if you notice, I said that Python run this code line by line. Okay, this place that is showing you Basi, I am 30 years old. Python have read this line. Now for that first name is empty. So currently, when Python got to here, it printed an empty space there. Okay, with last name I am whatever years old I am. Okay, but down here now we now have enter like an input command that requires us to enter our first name. Okay, now if I type in savior there and click enter, what I expect Python to do is Python to read the next line, which is print that first name for us to be sure that name has been saved. Okay, so I click enter, Python print out that statement. Okay, so if I also copy this line of code here, okay, copy this line of code down here, down to this last part, and then paste it again, okay, and run this code. You notice that this first line of code, okay, will run without savior, without Basi in it, and then this last line of code will run with Basi in it. That's because Python has now gotten this value and now saved it, and now we are now currently using it in our program. Okay, so now let's just run this code for the last time and let's see. Okay, so now when Python got this line of code, okay, there was no savior of Basi. Okay, so it printed Basi, I am 30 years old. Now, currently now, Python is at this line of code that requires me to enter my first name. Please mute yourself, please. Do that, please. So now I type in savior, okay, and then enter, okay.
Please mute your phone, or
mute your.
Please mute yourself. Okay. All right. Let's. Yeah.
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you know we are out of time, right?
Yes. We're done.
What you want to do now? Is it something?
No, like 5 minutes and we're done. 5 minutes and we're done.
Okay.
So what I did here was I made a mistake. I copied the same line of this line, I put it again there. Okay. That was a mistake. I was supposed to copy this other line of code, not and here and paste it here. Okay. Then paste and then run this code again and let's see what happens. So now, according as I said earlier, Python has now read this line without savior in it, and now Python is now at this line here. We ask me for my first. Now answer my first name is now savior. Okay. Python has now captured this name. I have now be written this other line, this first line here again, but this time with Savior in it. Okay, now you have Savior Basi. I am 30 years old. So that was pretty easy and simple. Okay, I hope everyone understood.
Yep.
I don't know
Yes,
if there's any question. Any question?
Yes, I do. Like you in the slide you mentioned that when you are inputting numbers, you press
Okay, yeah.
something before it.
Yeah. Okay, let me just run that particular line of code and show you how that one works. Okay, so let's assume I want to get my age. Okay, assume get my age. Let's assume that age date is 0. I want to get my age and then change. Okay, let's add. Okay, fine. Let me just the age. So I want to get my age after my name. Okay, and then I now create a new variable age. Okay, this variable will hold my age, and then I want to get my age that in not string. Okay, like I said, this first input command will get like anything it gets there will be Python will see it as a string. So now I want to get my age, which I don't want Python to see it as a string. So like I said, it just be the same thing. So we have copy this one here, copy it here, and then we paste it here. Okay, and what you have to do, just add eval means evaluate. It's a function, and then put the entire put the function, the entire input function inside the eval itself. Okay, so now this time around it will be enter your age, not your first name. Okay, understood, right? So,
yes.
Right. So now when we run this, and let's see what happens. So age not defined. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is where we got that error from. If notice, when, as like I said earlier, Python reads things line by line. So when Python goes to here, and it makes references to the previous line. Oh, okay, so at this point in line, age is not defined in any of these variables. Okay, so at this point, Python does not at this line, Python does not know anything about this man here or age. Okay, so what we do is probably we just cut that line out. Okay, for now, that line out, okay, and then we save and then we run this column again. Okay, so now it starts from here now. I read all this line and now it's now here at enter your first name. So can I enter my first name? And we will still have an error in this code because no. Yeah, there's no error. So now it's enter my age. So now I can now enter 30 and I say serial passing I am 30 years old. So that's it with the basic input and output function. I don't know if other question.
Sorry, I have a question. Okay, cool.
What's the question?
Okay. In running this program, let's start from the beginning. Like now, the first name, assuming I put my name as, okay, the first name, the first variable, first name is a variable. Yes, exactly. Assuming I put the name success in there, then I got to this input. Yeah. Where I was asking the user to enter the first name. So the user entered another name that is not success. Maybe entered David.
Okay. What Python will replace that whatever value is there to be replaced. So now if you run this code, let's say if you print the first name before we actually get those inputs, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, not that. Let's say print. It's printing, sorry. Not that. Okay. So let's print the name before we get the input, okay, and see what happens. Okay, that's it. And we run this code. Let's see, that's success, okay? Python has now recognized the first name as success, but then announced Williams. Okay. What Python now replaces that first name now. Okay, and age as well. Age is 50 this time around. what happens? The next line now is now print the first name, right? So now we are expecting to see Williams, not success again, because Python has now replaced the success
with
Williams. Okay. So what actually happens there was if you remember, there was when we assign ants egg to something else. Okay. So that's what happened there. Python assigned that first name to something else. Okay. So is there any other question? Yes, there's no other question. Thank you very much for your attention and your time. You all go back and practice more with the print and the input function. Play around with it. With time, you get used to all of it. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Sorry, you can ask your question in the Ask a Mentor channel. It's already way beyond our class time. Silvio, thank you very much. The link to this YouTube, you can just visit our YouTube channel to see the link to your class, or I'll be sharing it on the chats in the beginning, but that will make everywhere a bit busy. So you can. Okay, Sylvia, I think you can just answer that question quickly so we can close.
Okay, all right.
The question is on the chat.
All right, let me okay. Okay, the reason why we put eval there, eval is a function. It means evaluate. Okay, what it does, it's this other first part that this first input that there was no eval. Python's those inputs there has strings. Now this what this eval does, lets Python to get this other inputs as integers, that is, has numbers. Okay, so that's what eval does. And also it has other functions as well. Okay, but basically for today, for tonight, just know that the eval function allows you to get an integer, like an integer as input in Python. Okay, I believe I've answered that question.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have some people showing some love in the chat, so well done. All right. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night. Remember to go through you can also go through the YouTube video just in case you forget anything. And if you have any questions, remember to reach out on the Ask a Mentor channel and tag Savior.